What's going on? It's another episode of Left Side Heavy, the podcast presented by Blue Wire. It's your host, Jevin LaFave. It's the usual, me and Hayden today on a very, very packed episode. We talked about some US Open. We talked about some live golf, some NFL news with Deshaun Watson settling 20 out of his 24 cases. Got some Gronkowski retirement news. The Golden State Warriors are champions once again. Talk about the NHL awards, some Canucks breaking news, and the Stanley Cup Finals. It was a very, very packed show. Lots to talk about, lots of enjoyment, and it was just a very great episode overall. So I hope you guys enjoy. I won't ramble on too much, but if you're listening to this, but you want to watch instead, head over to the YouTube Left Side Heavy. Subscribe, ring the bell, comment, like, do all that. Really helps. The interaction really helps the show. And anywhere you get your podcast, leave a rating and review. That also helps grow the show. So that would be very much helpful. But onto the podcast, me and Hayden on episode 106. Enjoy. It's episode 106 of Left Side Heavy, the podcast presented by Blue Wire. It's your boy, Jevin LaFave. We got the usual Hayden on the block as well. We're going remote this episode due to a little birthday action we got going on the other side of this line here. Hayden, how's it going, brother?
Oh, it's going good. And yeah, no birthday action from the old pops. And the cost of gas making me not really want to drive from Poco to Ridge back to Poco in the matter of a couple hours.
What do you mean, man? Just put the money away and come over.
Fucking live with it.
Just to drive back to Pitt Meadows. Just do it, man. It's not that big of a deal.
Maybe when I win the lottery, okay?
Yeah. Maybe when you get a small loan of $1 million from my father.
Hamburgers.
No, but how you been, brother? How's the new job?
It's good, man. The first 2 days have been fucking just gone by like fucking a snap in the wind, a flick of the wind. I don't know what fucking
snap of the finger.
Snap of the finger, yeah. Whistle in the wind. Yeah, no, it's nice starting at 6 a.m. Kind of shit waking up at 4:50 in the morning, but I'm home by 2:30 every day. It's essential now because now I'm going to be golfing every Thursday, or at least trying to be, and just having a good fucking time.
Yeah, I mean 6 to 2:30 is not bad at all.
2:15.
Whereabouts are you at a different place every week, every month,
nope.
every contract or whatever? Whereabouts are you working out of?
Well, the main squeeze, the warehouse, is just behind the fiddle.
Just behind the fiddle?
Yeah, just behind the fiddle. And okay. It was so funny, actually, really funny story. So my boss, who I talked to a couple weeks ago about this job, he's like, have you ever driven like a big truck or like a big van? And I'm thinking like, well, the biggest thing that I've driven is like the Isuzu box cabin with like, just a regular standard size box bed on the back of it, probably about like 16 foot.
Yeah. Like what do you classify as like a big truck?
Yeah. So I basically just told him that I could probably carry about like 10 tons worth of stuff. And he's like, oh, okay, this is nothing to what you're going to be driving. And I'm like, oh, perfect. That's fine. Right. Me being totally fucking just not knowing exactly what could go on when you're moving cabinetry and all this other furniture. I get there yesterday and he's like, hey, or not my boss, but my foreman. He's like, hey, so you and this other guy are gonna take a delivery. First week you're here, it's kind of a busy fucking week, so be ready for lots of deliveries to get stuff out of the shop. I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right. And the other guy looks at me when we're getting ready to leave after we've loaded everything in the truck, and he's like wiggling the keys in my face because the van that they're driving is literally like a 20-foot moving van.
Oh my.
Like it's fucking huge. And Buddy's like, or I look at Buddy and I'm like, oh, what am I driving? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, fuck, my first day. Yeah,
No way.
so
First day.
first day, yeah. And like I didn't even talk to Steve like about say, I've never driven anything this big, but you know what? Got behind the wheel, drove it out to Mission, fucking way beyond the ass crack of dawn out there. And yeah, was pretty good. And then the real test was today. I drove it all the way through downtown.
God damn.
Yeah, right near Science World. And it was pretty sick actually. We unloaded the truck and went up to a penthouse and got to see what the inside of a penthouse was like. Yeah, it's actually so sick. So
Yeah.
by the time I leave the shop, usually we kind of leave like around 8, 9, somewhere around there. And then we do like 2 hours of work, get back, have lunch. And by that time, it's already been like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And like the first 2 hours of work are just basically fucking easy work. And then the last 2 hours is just fucking, all right, do we got another delivery? Let's load up the truck, get out of here.
That's unreal.
That's how my first 2 days have been. And that's, other than loading up, because I don't think we have a delivery for Thursday, but we have a delivery going out tomorrow. So it should just be, another 3 easy days. And that's pretty much it. And you get to see like a lot of cool places. So
That's money.
yeah, it's pretty fucking fire job, I must say.
That's sweet. And you got that through like a family friend kind of thing?
Yeah, family friend, yeah.
That's sweet, dude.
Well,
I'm
you
happy
you
you're enjoying
remember
it.
you remember Christine, right? Like the girl that's like really good friends with my mom.
Remember the name, can't put a face to a name.
Okay, well, basically, it's her husband's company,
Okay.
and yeah, I know he fucking just asked my mom, was like, "Hey, do you know if Hayden has any younger friends like looking to join the millwright business?" And then my mom was like, "Well, ask him."
Yeah. Why not?
Here we are.
Here we are. Well, hey, we got a packed show on our hands today, so we better get the snowball rolling here. And we'll kind of start with our little bet that we had over last episode. We didn't put anything on it that I can remember, but we had a little US Open draft and it was based on winnings, and I won by about $28,000 or
No, 200.
$280,000.
Yeah, $280,000.
There we go. That sounds way more correct. But yeah. But the most important thing, what made headlines, Matthew Fitzpatrick wins the US Open, his first win in North America.
Insanity.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, it's the second time winning in Brookline, on Brookline course.
Yeah, he won the amateur.
He won the USAM.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the US Open win by Matty Fitz?
From what I saw, and I only saw really the last about 12 holes on Sunday. Obviously, we were gone.
Yeah.
We were away. Didn't really watch any on Thursday. Probably could have. But, I mean, like watching a Thursday round is just telling yourself that you have nothing else to do in your life, and that's just really fucking boring. So, watching the last 10 holes, it was a good battle between Scheffler, Zalatoris, and Harrington, right? Like it was
Harrington. Fitzpatrick.
It was Fitzpatrick. Fuck. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Jesus Lordy. I can tell you how long he's really like been a name for himself on the tour. I really don't even know who this guy is. I haven't really heard his name pop up. And yeah, I mean, looking back on it, you play this course once, you win it, you're probably a good chance to win it again. But
yeah,
from what I watched, it was just Scheffler couldn't get a good like 4 or 5 holes that could win him the tournament. And Zalatoris went on a little heater, but then kind of cooled off and just left it wide open, and that's what it came down to.
Well, I mean, hole 18, Fitz wanted to hit his driver, but then his caddy made him pull 3-wood. And then next thing you know, Fitzy hook, line, and sinkers it right into the fucking fairway bunker. The one place he did not want to hit it because he says he's the worst at fairway bunkers.
Literally, and even the announcers were like, he does not want to hit this left, and then he fucking hooks it into the bunker, and I'm like, damn, Zalatoris has a chance to win here.
Yeah, if he loses on the 18th, is that caddy gone? Even though like how great he's done, because he's caddied so many players to potentially win a major, but has come up short because this is his first major. Billy Foster.
Yeah.
Despite how good he is he gone if
Oh Fitz, no,
if Fitz loses?
Not at all. I think Fitz just had the fucking pressure on his back.
Yeah.
3-wood is the smarter choice, because it was clear he only had a 180-yard shot from the bunker, right? Like, it wasn't anything super, super difficult. Like, it wasn't like a 220-yard shot out of the bunker. It was and if he actually hit it in the rough or on the fairway, it would have been even shorter. You know what I mean? So it could have been more controlled. He didn't need to go for gold.
Yeah.
He didn't need to pull out the driver and fucking, pull out the disco stick and, try and go for the dance floor right away. But yeah, no, he definitely fucking recovered. What a shot from the fairway bunker, and to stick it to that much and 2-putt for the win. And
as clutch as you can be, really.
Oh,
that shot was unbelievable.
Pretty much as clutch as you can be after a terrible pull from the tee shot. So yeah, no, Zalatoris missing that birdie putt. I almost was like just watching it before he even took the putt, and I'm like, this isn't going in. Like, something just told me, it wasn't Zalatoris's match to win, and inevitably that's what happened.
Yeah, going back to the drive, I think it wasn't necessarily a matter of going for goal. It's just like Fitzpatrick was hitting his driver, like he was hot with the disco stick that day. So I think it was just a matter of continuing momentum with a certain club, which is why he wanted to go with it. But to your point, 3-wood was a smarter play because you're taking the long out of play, like staying in the fairway. If he hits it straight, like if he strikes it right down the pipe, he's right there. But I mean, it's just like his driver, he was hot with it that day. So it's like, if you got the confidence with it, then it's like almost roll with it. But
yeah,
he in the bunker, just an unreal shot, kind of like the Tiger shot back at the RBC in 2000, like that 6-iron from the bunker. Fitzy has that 8-iron from the bunker and just puts it to like 12 feet. Just unbelievable shot.
No, it was.
And clutched up for the win. And he basically put the balls in Billy Z's court. But he just couldn't burn the edge on the left side of the cup. But no, unreal win by Fitzpatrick. And it's so crazy it's his first professional win over here in North America. He's won a few times on the European tour, but it's his first win over here. That's insane to me.
Absolutely.
So many good things to come with Matthew Fitzpatrick. He's a guy that's getting like 30 yards in distance too. Just a small little guy. Still has braces on. Like, just a guy who doesn't fit the mold of a professional golfer. And he's just hitting it like 290 yards, winning US Opens.
Yep.
Just striping it, making us all look like fools. But no, shout out to Matty Fitz. I'll definitely be voting for him in the future later because I like the tier 2, 3 golfers who kind of like don't win as much but finally get put in the spotlight. I like rooting for those guys. So shout out to Matty Fitz for that. More golf news though. Brooks Koepka is off to live.
Yeah, that was a fucking shocker. I'll admit, seeing that retweet actually from, I think it was Shefty. Getting in a little bit of golf news.
Adam Shafts.
Yeah, I think it was Shefty. It could have been Rap, but yeah, no. Seeing that, I was like, honestly, I'm not surprised. I heard Liv
Yeah,
pushed what was it like close to what Phil was making,
I
or
wouldn't be
like
surprised. I didn't necessarily see the dollar amount. I just saw that he was heading over.
I just saw a meme and it was like,
Let me
we'll
see.
offer you 100 mil, and then like Liv was like, oh, we'll offer you 100 mil, and then Brooks was like, oh well, I could consider that, and before you could finish consider that, it was 200 mil, take her to leave it. Right. So I don't know if it was exactly that, but I mean, it's definitely got to be in between 100 and 200. So I mean, $100 million is obviously life changing, very much so. I would do well with $100 million. I feel like,
I'm trying to
especially
see
guaranteed.
how much did Brooks, Kepka
It should be almost like
get
top story. You
to
think?
go to live? Earns
Podcasting
ridiculous
notes.
bonus to join the Live Golf Tour. Should say right here. 150 million dollars.
There we go. It's right in the middle, right smack dab middle. Which,
Yeah, to
yeah,
DJ and Phil. Pretty close. I think it was about the same as DJ. They said
oh,
about
okay,
150 schmil. Yeah,
not
which
bad.
I would kind of put them two together.
Yeah, I
It's
would
kind
too.
of pretty neutral. I'd put DJ slightly up.
Just because of all the more stuff that he's won. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're pretty similar. They're pretty comparable in terms of overall. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. Kepka's always given off that frat mentality where like he like the I don't really give a fuck mentality where he doesn't like to play golf. He just does it because he's good at it. He said that multiple times. He's he's advocated several times that like golf needs to be shorter, like 14 holes is better instead of 18. So he's always been a guy who's like doesn't like to play as much. He's like, even when he's full on healthy, he only likes playing the majors because that really only gets him out. So Liv sets him up perfectly with everything like that. It's set up and structured. Like only 8 events a year. He's getting $150 million, which is like absurd.
Amazing.
So it doesn't really surprise me that he's going over there. But I'm almost surprised it didn't happen sooner. But I guess he just wanted to kind of wait for other guys to head over first, so he
Maybe
doesn't
see about the
necessarily.
waters and stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, $150 million to go over, but doesn't really surprise anyone, really.
No, it doesn't.
So yeah, that's a little golf talk there. We'll head over to the NFL. So big news came out with Deshaun Watson and his lawsuits.
Yeah.
He has settled with
air quotes.
I'm putting so much strength into these air quotes right here. Head over to YouTube to see the powerful air quotes from myself. He has settled, in very strong air quotes, 20 of 24 cases. But I have a hunch that he just
paid,
threw him a ton of money to be like, let's just end this. And they're like,
yep.
Okay. So I'm not really like, nothing has been proven yet. So yeah. I'm not going to be like, oh, he's innocent. Technically, he's innocent until proven guilty. That is how it goes. But I mean, I'm not like, when there's 24 cases against you, it's really hard to say that you're innocent until proven guilty. 100%. It's more like I'm skeptical until proven guilty. That's what I'm like. So when 20 cases have been settled, I'm assuming you just like cut them a check and just
especially right at once, you know, or like we're getting this news at once. Who knows if it was settled like day by day by day, but I mean, you know, it's I mean, brutal.
And think about it. He's an NFL player, so he's been making money.
Yep.
And he just signed a contract of guaranteed $250 million from Cleveland Browns, and he obviously had to get a signing bonus on top of that. So he probably got money right when he got signed. So he's probably been getting chunks of that. So he's probably putting that towards paying some of these people off. So he literally just signed.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, this is just all such a dark cloud on everything on him.
Oh, it is.
Like, despite it, and it always has been. It was a dark cloud from the get-go. But I mean, when 20 out of 24 cases have been settled right after you sign a $250 million contract, I feel like it's just really hard to believe that they've actually been settled properly.
Yeah, more like just put a carpet over the stain and just let it go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fucking insane. And then even after hearing the 24th lawsuit that came out just a couple weeks ago, that was a whole monkey wrench that was thrown into Watson's legal system that could have had him suspended. And I truthfully think there should be a minimum a year suspension for this.
Yeah.
Like the Browns are okay to do a minimum year suspension. They've already put him on a vet minimum this year. Like they're kind of expecting that there's some sort of suspension. Like if no suspension happens, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't like, obviously, yeah, it's innocent until proven guilty, or like you said, it's skepticism until proven guilty, because I also saw a post about how the Texans gave him multiple rooms with 66 different masseuses, and
Yeah.
each one of those masseuses signed an NDA. Like I know that a lot of celebrities also get, fans to sign NDAs if they go out and they do like a meet and greet sort of thing, one-on-one. But I mean, like, it's just, of course it was given that, of course
An
it had
NDA
an
with a masseuse is, I feel like, just a lot different than
like a
uh
fan.
yeah. Like
Oh,
that's just
100%.
like, and 60 different women. Like I was listening to PMT, which you probably heard this as well. Arian Foster was on, and he said in his
Yeah.
entire NFL career he was only given three. And
Three.
like, and that's when like one of them, like, he parted ways with one, he went to a
Yep.
different team, so we got a different one.
And then one
60
left.
60 plus is just,
Absurd.
it's unheard of. It's
It
like,
it
it
really
doesn't make
just,
any sense. What is the 45th different than the 38th? What is the
yeah.
38th different than the 13th? Why do
No,
you
it
need
is.
60 different masseuses? You're obviously doing something.
Yeah, clearly, because none of them want to keep coming back to you. Like
It's
it's
it,
very obvious, and it's a very telltale sign that there is something suspicious going on. And I mean, to throw, a little cherry on top. Oh yeah, you good? And the cherry on top of all of this is Watson had a video of him uh with Mia Khalifa, like dunking on, or trying to dunk on him in a maid outfit. This man was undeniably horny 24/7.
are we sure how old that video is? Because I heard multiple times that it was a very old video.
I'm not sure how old that video is, but regardless, who knows how long his reign of terror against masseuses in Houston has been going on for.
It's a fair point.
It's a fair point. And
Yeah.
I knew you were probably gonna rebuttal with that, but that was my thing, where it was like, if
Yeah.
he's been in the league how long, and like Arian Foster was in the league how long, only had 3, and he's been in the league 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. It's absurd. Yeah, there's no
It's
way that you need this much.
no, it's a math that doesn't add up. There's no solution to this problem.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you there. But yeah, excuse me. Get a little water here. We'll see where this Watson situation goes. There's four other cases that need to be settled. But this guy is not playing football anytime soon. And despite how skilled of a player he is, he's still, in my eyes, a top 10 quarterback. But nothing is gonna, he's put a very like the darkest cloud he possibly can over his name, and I don't think it's ever going to go away until it for sure comes out that he did absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on because we have another news. Gronkowski has, and still air quotes here, has retired. And he came out with a statement and he said that he's always wanted to play for Tampa Bay. And something tells me that that is just so wrong. He literally went over there because Tommy went there.
Jesus Christ. I didn't read that because, in my opinion, sorry for interrupting, but like, in my opinion, this motherfucker's not retiring.
No, yeah, he's
even
not
his agent said that he's not surprised if Gronk comes back next year and plays.
Yeah, he's not retiring. I guarantee you he's gonna come back. I'll put a Mark Messier guarantee that he comes back and plays for at least one playoff run.
He'll be brought back in. Yeah. If the Bucks make playoffs, he's gonna sign as a fucking free agent or a free agent. He's gonna be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking go on this playoff run. My ribs are healthy.
Isn't he technically still under contract?
He's still contract.
So he's still Tampa's property pretty much. So he's going to come back for playoffs.
It'll be exactly what the Patriot or what Belichick did. If they want to trade his rights, they'll get like. I agree with what Bill did. You know, he traded his rights at the time he was still retired, and he got a 7th round pick. If Gronkowski
first year, he got like a 4th round pick.
No, it could have been a 4th round actually.
I think it was higher than a 7th.
Regardless, he got a pick for a retired player.
He got a decent value. Fucking Alvin Kamara was a 3rd or 4th round pick. Anything could come out of a 4th round pick. The chances very unlikely, but he still got a draft pick for a player who is never going to play a game for New England again.
Yeah, especially with Bill Belichick. Who knows where he's drafting a 3rd round player?
Yeah. The 2nd best coach in the NFL, according to Ian.
Yeah, dude. Oh, no, the 2nd best coach that he would want to hire.
Yeah.
Right away. Which fucking sound. No, give me fucking Belly all day.
Yeah, and like, all shots at Ian. No, do you know what? I'll give shots at Ian. I just thought it was funny because all the reasons he gave Sean McVay at being number 1 is exactly what Bill Belichick is as well. Plus, Bill has every accolade under his belt. So I'm like,
the only accolade that Belichick doesn't have under Sean McVay is his age.
Yeah,
that's the only accolade.
Yeah, and the thing is, I would still take Sean McVay top 5, 100%. But Bill, I just think like no matter what, he's gonna be numero uno. If he like stepped down and was like looking to coach somewhere else. People with like just hire, like the Jags just hired Doug Peterson. Oh, sorry, Doug, you're fired. We're gonna go for Bill. But no, yeah, that's all the news I got in the NFL right now. We're gonna shift over to the NBA because the Golden State Warriors are once again NBA champions for the 4th time in 8 years, 7 or 8 years.
8 years.
8 years. Unbelievable. This might be up there as probably the 1st or 2nd best in my opinion. And Steph Curry finally gets his finals MVP.
Yep.
Just an unbelievable teamwork dub for the Dubs. I mean, you got Curry, who's always had the stigma of like he never shows up in the finals. Curry came and stepped up and delivered. Andrew Wiggins came from the fucking clouds and was like the 2nd best player in the series, not just on the Warriors, but the series.
Yeah, the series, yep.
Klay Thompson didn't play as good, but he still delivered like at least a Klay game.
Yeah, a solid game.
Draymond was the thorn in their side all series, just playing mental games. And Jason Tatum committed over 100 turnovers.
Yeah, that was like, an insane stat to read there.
Yeah, like Golden State just played an unbelievable finals, and shouts out to you. Shouts out to you. Let me give you a round of applause here.
Thank you.
Aiden, you predicted it right. Dubs in 6. Me and Liam went Celtics in 7, and little Benny boy, Bing Bing, went Golden State in 7. But man, give me your thoughts on the NBA Finals as a whole. What did you think of it? Was Golden State, Boston, everything you were looking forward to? And fucking rights, yeah. Give me your breakdown of it.
Well, as we know, the first 2 games were fucking write-offs. It was blowout, and then it was blowout, and the series was 1-1, and it was like, okay, well, now this isn't a 7-game series. This is a 5-game series, because that was not like what either team should have played like, and it was obvious.
Yeah.
And then, you come back and you see some good D from the Celtics, and you see some good D from the Warriors. But I'll tell you this, as soon as I saw Golden State win game 5, it was locks. They're like, no, we're not fucking putting this to game 7. We're shutting them down in the Garden and killing them. We're stepping on their necks, and we're finishing them.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. And yeah, game 5 Curry hit no threes, and they still won. And it was
That's
insane.
unbelievable. That was the Wiggins game. I'm pretty sure that was the last time we recorded was
right after.
Was game 5. And Wiggins had his game. And when I knew that Golden State won this series was in game 4 when they took it in Boston. When they split in Boston as well, I'm like, there's no way Golden State's losing 2 out of 3 games when they got home court.
Yeah,
like they are winning this series. Boston had to win game 4, in my opinion, at home. They were up 2-1, and they needed to win that game. Yeah. But when I saw that Golden State took it, I'm like, I don't know, man. I really like Golden State the rest of the way. I just don't think that they're going to lose. And next thing you know, they won like 3 straight games, and that's wraps.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. Obviously Steph's his 40+ point game was just absolutely absurd. And then even in game 6, the fact that the Celtics were up 12-0.
Yeah.
Or 12-2, whatever it was. Like they were up, and it was like, okay, whoa, it's looking like it might not be a game 6, but then Warriors are just so fucking good. Like they're a dynasty for a reason. And that is also why also in our episode a couple episodes back when we did the boys, that's why I would take Steve Kerr, number 1 coach overall. Like,
yeah,
he's not just some guy who puts like amazing players in places that they'll play. He knows what depth means, and he understands the roles of their key role players: Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton.
Yeah.
And even like taking Draymond out. I forget what game it was in, but it was like the last 6 minutes, and it was basically benching him. And it's like, no, like, what are you doing? Like, you're not playing like one of our best players right now. Sit on the bench, ride the bench for the last 6 minutes. And that lit a fire in Green's ass.
Yeah.
Game 5 and game 6, he played like Draymond, and he hit a 3. Yeah. He hit a 3, and it lit the whole fucking place on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, they got hit a 3. No, 100%, because Curry, you got to give him respects, because there's a reason why Golden State's the best third quarter team in the NBA. There's a reason why they explode so much in the third quarter. They scored the most points. I'm pretty sure they scored like upwards of the most points in the NBA in the third quarter, like almost in fucking NBA history. Like they're one of the best third quarter teams to ever play. And Steve Kerr plays a big part of that, because he's got to make the halftime adjustments. Exactly. Yes, it's the personnel on the floor, 100%. That comes with everything. That comes with every part of coaching. Is like, yes, you have to rely on your players doing the job, but you also have to draw up game plans to play defense and to counterattack and have an offensive scheme to gain such a substantial lead on your opponents. And that's exactly what Golden State does. So like, 100% putting Steve Kerr number one is totally understandable because this guy just knows how to adjust. And if you can get a good lead in any game, you're going to take that 10 times out of 10. It's
Oh
just a
yeah,
matter on you to keep up with it, on not letting the other team back in it. Right. So,
agreed.
yeah, Steve Kerr's been unbelievable. And he's just a player's coach, too. He's always riding with his guys. He's always, and he was like, he's won a third of the last 27 NBA championships as a player and coach.
As a player
5
and
as
a
a player
coach.
and 4 as a coach. This guy just has been around winning teams, and he just
Yep.
knows how to coach up, coach down. He just knows how to get to the players and to get the best out of them. Andrew Wiggins, for example, everyone is like harping on him for not living up to his number one draft status. But look at this guy. He's the second best player in a highly skilled series with Tatum, Jalen Brown, Marcus Smart, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jordan Plum, running out of breath saying all these names. And Andrew Wiggins was the second best player in this series.
Yeah.
And everyone wasn't even given a chance against Tatum. And this
Yeah.
guy locked him up like 4 out of 6 games.
And that's what kind of just like put it over the edge for me too, about Wiggins and stuff like that. Like this guy was first overall pick. You
Yeah.
know, he was considered the Canadian MJ for a reason coming out of college. And
Maple Jordan.
Maybe it's because he was the focal point of the shitty Timberwolves and it just wasn't his fit.
Yeah.
This is his fit. He doesn't need to be the number one. He doesn't need to be the guy to rely on. He needs to be like the second best player on the team. And
Third or
with
fourth.
this,
He was like the fourth option on Golden State. And this guy was absolutely going
exactly
on tears.
like this. No, I think Wiggins could easily find a resurgence in his career after this. Maybe he gets a confidence that he's never had before because it's like, damn, I just locked up Tatum. I
Yeah.
just played against the like one of the most up and coming teams in basketball ever with such a young core. Like Boston's going to be back in
Oh,
the
they're going to
NBA
be.
finals
Yeah.
at least like another 2 or 3 times in the next
X amount of
5-10
years.
years.
Yeah. Like in the
Yeah.
next foreseeable future, I think Boston is going to be back.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
100%. Especially if they get, another key player, maybe on the edge of their, edge of their prime or kind of in the back half of their career, and they just come in and be a role player, like
Yeah.
Al Horford, who knows how long he has, right? But it's like maybe getting Tatum, or maybe even getting Jalen Brown a dribble partner, because holy fuck, that guy couldn't dribble for shit, man. And
Yeah.
it was embarrassing,
It's
actually.
looking like Paul LaFave out in the street.
Dude, I know I'm not any better at dribbling, but it's like I looked and it's almost as if every 5th or 6th possession he had the ball, he kicked it out of bounds or he kicked it right to Golden State. And it's like turnovers. And that's another thing. The turnovers, man. The turnovers that Boston had. Not alone Jason Tatum, but Boston, man. Like you gotta be way more disciplined with those turnovers.
Way more discipline. 100%.
And it's kind of a scary fact that when they have 16 turnovers plus, they're losing the game.
Yeah. That's just bad.
That's
bad. Like you can't get to 16 turnovers in general. And the fact that they have like multiple stats with like 16 plus turnovers, it's like, man, you gotta be way more careful with it.
Way more.
So no, but what do you think Wiggins is gonna do? Because if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a UFA at the end of the season. So like what would you do if you were him? Because in my opinion, I would just stay. If they have the money for me, why wouldn't you just stay with Golden State? You still got Curry in like the edge of his prime. You still got Draymond. You got a young Jordan Poole. James Wiseman and Kuminga had barely even played these playoffs, and they're lottery picks.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you try and run it back with this team? And like, you showed that you could be a focal point. But like, what would you do if you were Wiggins? Would you chase the bag or maybe stay in the situation that kind of rose you from the dead, I guess, to put it harshly? But
No, that's a fair point. I mean, if Wiggins is smart, he does the smart thing and he stays with this team and he
Yeah,
takes this team over when Curry is on like his Vince Carter time, where he's only
yeah.
playing like 8 minutes a game, where Wiggins, this could easily be his team. This could be his next team. And like you were saying, all
Hmm.
the draft lottery picks they have, and they maybe trade for somebody else who is kind of, again, or they sign someone who's kind of on the back half of their career. It's looking like LeBron somehow wants out. I think you could put him at the power forward position, take away oh fuck, who would that take away on Golden State starting five?
Steph, Clay, Draymond, Wiggins, and
Wiggins.
then no, I don't know who their number
You
five
could probably
is.
put Draymond at the center and then put Looney. I guess if Looney or
Well, if you got Wiggins there, he'd be in the forward position.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying because Draymond plays the power forward, right? So
Mm.
can LeBron. So yeah, just put Draymond at the center and put LeBron at
Yeah, that'd be insane.
power forward.
Curry and LeBron. God damn.
It would almost fittingly be kind of like KD
Yeah.
and Curry, except
I feel like that would be a power struggle though. Like
I think it could be as well.
I think they each just need their own team. Because I mean LeBron's like 37. As much as you want to talk about Curry being on the back nine, LeBron's right there as
Oh,
well.
he's right on the back nine.
So the fact that they're doing this without LeBron, I feel like it would almost make it worse if they do, despite LeBron's greatness. I just think LeBron's such a it needs to run through him, but also the same thing with Curry. Like Curry's the focal point of the offense. So despite how good he is off the ball, I just think there would be too much happening to make anyone happy, like to make everyone happy. So I feel like it'd be like it's almost like perfect what they got here. Just get some young, hungry scorers that are looking for buckets,
Yep.
and then the three main core that know how to win. And I think that's a perfect recipe what they have, and it turned into a championship.
No, it definitely could be.
Yeah. All right. Should we shift to the NHL because it was a big night for awards and some other stars in the league?
Yep, pretty big night.
The NHL awards. So I'll run through all of them, and we can just fucking chat about them.
Sounds good.
Austin Matthews, big year for him. 60 goal score, 104 points, both career highs. He wins the Hart for most valuable player, voted on by the board, and also wins the Ted Lindsay for most outstanding player, voted on by the players. So he wins basically the two biggest awards he can win. And then Shesterkin wins the Vezina. We got Cale Makar winning the Norris and Moritz Seider winning the Calder. Did they get any of these wrong?
First off, I just want to say I was at the bar with my dad, and it was 30 minutes before they started announcing the winners of everything, and I was just watching someone give like a subtle interview on the fucking like the place in general, and I'm like, damn, this guy's fucking hairline is awful. And then it just shows Austin Matthews, and
Oh
I'm
my,
like,
yeah.
holy fuck, man. I honestly don't think Austin Matthews should have won the Hart. Uh, in my opinion, I think McDavid. Like, I just don't know. How could you not give it to McDavid after this whole year? It didn't make sense to me in my mind as to why Matthews has it. And then yeah, Igor Shesterkin, that was pretty fucking obvious. And Gail McCarr, that was also pretty obvious in my opinion as well. Winning the Norris. So yeah, I don't have any other sort of fight in the in the reason as to why McDavid should have won the Hart, but what are you gonna do, right?
I honestly think they got all of these right. With the Hart, I could see any of them winning it. So no matter who won the Hart, I could totally understand. You got Matthews almost putting the Toronto offense on his back and scoring 60. He had 47 and 47 at one point,
Yep.
and goals turns into offense, which turns into putting up running up the scoreboard, which means taking away the struggle or the stress for your goalies. So I mean, like he just basically like he was very valuable to that team and like their wins, but also McDavid. I mean, he put up 123 points and no one fucking is talking about it. So
Yeah.
like that's insane. And then Igor Shesterkin puts up the 7th highest save percentage in NHL history, and he let in just over 2 goals a game, which is absolutely absurd as well. So any of those guys who won the Hart, I would not have been surprised whatsoever. But I think Matthews, I mean, 60 goals, it's very hard to like avoid that. And it's like, dude, yeah, you deserve it. I totally understand that. I knew he was gonna win the Ted Lindsay at least 100%, most outstanding player for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't understand is because they broke down the Shesterkin votes because it's like 5 points for first, 3 points for second, 1 point for third. Total amount of votes. It,
Apparently they do first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. This is what I'm seeing off of Sportsnet.
not for Vesna. They only showed first, second, third.
Sorry, I'm looking at the Hart right now, and the
No,
Hart goes 10. Okay, yeah, my bad.
yeah, I'm talking about Vesna. So they only do first, second, third, and it was 5-3-1. 3 other goalies got a first place vote. Now, what I don't understand. First of all, one of the goalies was Ilya Sorokin.
Yeah.
And like, yes, he had a fucking great year. Not gonna doubt that. But not a chicken's dick chance was he fucking winning the Vesna. How did he not win? How did he not how was he not the unanimous winner? If a
Yeah.
goalie is up for the Hart, no other goalie should even be up for nomination. Am I taking crazy pills for this?
No,
Like
you're not. Like the
he's
fact
up he's up for MVP of the league.
the
No
f-
other goalie was better than him this entire year. No other goalie was even close. No one else had a chance at winning this. Yes, Markstrom had 9 shutouts. That's fantastic. Unbelievable. UC Saros, you're one of the most underrated goalies in the league. You finally got your flowers by getting nominated for Vesna. Tough year to be voted because one of the best goalie years ever performed was put on by Shesterkin. Vasilevsky, yes, he's the best goalie in the world. He's going to get a first place vote, whatever. Freddie Anderson, kind of random, but yes, he had a good year as well. No one else should have got a first place vote than Shesterkin. He should have been the unanimous first. He should have been unanimous, in my opinion, just because of he's up for the Hart. No other goalie was close to being a Hart Trophy winner other than him. No one else should even be close to winning the Vezina. So that's my rant on it.
Yeah, no, man.
Yeah,
Go the fuck off right there,
yeah.
because I could not agree more. Like that's actually kind of embarrassing as to why Shesterkin wasn't the unanimous winner.
What do you
Like
have?
you
Like a
said,
hundred? He
he
had
had
like 100.
154 points, and second Markstrom was at 53.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't make any sense looking at this sheet. Like the only one I could give a first place vote to, other than Igor, is Markstrom, because yeah, he had a great year of shutouts, held a great save percentage, and then Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky is just like the best goaltender in the league right now. Like playoffs, regular season wise, whatever. Like, yeah, but looking at Ilya Sorokin and seeing Freddie Anderson getting a first place vote, who the hell is smoking what kind of crack to put them on the list? And honestly, shout out Thatcher Demko getting one third place vote. So that's pretty fucking sick. I must say. And then I also saw, as I was just like kind of looking around, one of the funniest ones is how they do the heart voting for whatever, and tied for 14th. JT Miller and Matthew Tkachuk, both with 1/5 place vote.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal whatsoever. But yeah, no, looking at the point spread, Austin Matthews like, run away with it. You had a great season.
All right, sorry, where were we at? Because my headphones are just driving me nuts right now.
It's basically just giving Austin Matthews his flowers. He had an amazing season. McDavid had an amazing season, and Shesterkin also had an amazing season. And shout out everyone on the list from 4th through 15th, basically 15th. They all, from what I know, had pretty amazing years. Like you could consider everyone on the Hart voting list an MVP in their own way, just because of how much of an impact they had. Same with the Norris, except like you almost felt like Cale Makar, who actually didn't get as many first place votes
As Yossi.
as Yossi, still won it, which is insane to me because, you know, just watching, like going on YouTube and watching Cale Makar highlights or watching Matthews, McDavid, or Shesterkin highlights from this year, looking at Makar, he's like an offensive player who can play defense better than any defenseman. It's absolutely crazy.
No, he is legit insane.
It is insane. He's gone away. This man is upset.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
It's okay. We'll get done with the recording here. That way you can throw yourself into your pillows and just fucking kill yourself. Always put in the AirPods, everyone. He has put in the AirPods, and we're about to do this right on recording. We're all here for the ride.
All right. Is it okay if you repeat that? Now I can't tell how loud I'm speaking to the mic because it's connected to a different device. So if I'm talking too loud, just let me know.
I'll tell you right now, you're good. And I basically just said that we're in this, looking at you going and putting your AirPods in. We're all here for the ride.
Yeah, when you hear feedback into your microphone and you can't figure out why it's happening, it is the most frustrating thing of all time. And I may have almost broke my little fucking device trying to figure it out. Yeah, it is stressing me out because I'm not sure. It's probably not. It might be crazy, but the recording might pick it up like within my Zoom file.
Mhm.
So now like this entire podcast might just be completely ruined. So if part of that, maybe like half of this fucking episode is ruined because of my feedback, I apologize. But it's just the way it's gonna happen.
Hey, sometimes it really be like that, man.
Yeah, I'll maybe cut it out whenever like Hayden's talking because the files record separately, but on my end, you might just hear some feedback. So I apologize for that. Put the AirPods in so I can't hear it at least, but we'll see how the rest of it goes. But no, that was the NHL awards. Not a lot of surprises on my end. Moritz Seider wins it, which I think is totally deserved. He like dominated the voting too. He won it by a shit ton. So yeah, on my end, not a ton of surprises. We'll carry on to some Canucks news. They won a very big sweepstake. They won Russian star Andrei Kuzmenko. Was it Evgeny Kuzmenko? I believe it's Andrei Kuzmenko.
I think it's Andre, yeah.
And This guy is the number one, basically overseas free agent that was on the free agent market, and the Canucks bloody won him.
Somehow, some way.
He's a 26-year-old Russian. He was playing over in CK St. Petersburg, if I'm not mistaken, and he was second in league scoring this year with 53 points in 42 games or 43 games, something like that. Or for I think it was maybe 53 and 46. He was an unbelievable player. He's a guy who's great on the power play, great top six winger. He can score, he can dish it out. He's a good skater. He's basically exactly what the Canucks need. He's a no risk player, and the Canucks won him. Hayden, what do you think that this move does for the organization going forward?
I heard it today on the radio of how these sweepstakes are just like the biggest fucking thing in the world right now. And it's funny to me just because obviously if I'm getting into the league, I haven't heard a thing about this guy. I haven't heard anything. But the fact that they were gloating and saying how Edmonton was almost like the front runner, but then they didn't get him. And somehow Vancouver was just the place that he wanted to go. I'm excited to see what this fucking kid can do.
Me too.
I say kid, and he's fucking 4 years older than me, and you, and like, who knows how it's gonna play out? But it's gonna be awesome to, recognize him and see him in the blue and green and be like, hey, this guy we basically fucking won. Like, let's see what he does.
Yeah.
So I'm thoroughly excited to see exactly what he is and who he is, because he's just picking up steam and it's only day one.
Yeah. I'm sure that this means that we probably trade one of Besser, Garland, or JT Miller, depending on either how the first year goes. Maybe at the trade deadline we move them. But I assume that we most likely trade JT Miller, just because apparently they're off on term for a contract extension, and there's some the New Jersey Devils, their second overall pick is kind of available, and Ottawa's just said their seventh overall is available. So it depends what kind of direction those organizations are trying to move. So there's a lot of things up in the air within the Canucks organization. So I'm looking forward to what this Kuzmenko kid can do, just like you. And I think he's gonna be good. It's a no risk play. So
yeah,
let's just see how the kid plays, and maybe he can be a long-time Canuck after this season.
Hopefully.
Let's hope. But also one note, I just remembered the coaching carousel. So I'm not too sure if we talked about this last episode, but Bruce Cassidy did go to Vegas after being fired from Boston. Pete DeBoer has been hired by Dallas Stars. So after being fired by Vegas, he goes over to New Jersey. John Tortorella is going to Philly, hoping to change the culture there. He's very excited to do that, add some sandpaper finish to that team. And the Trot sweepstakes are still up there. Martin St. Louis returned to Montreal, as everyone should have expected, because that guy's an absolute beauty and turned that team season around, even though they were always going to be last place. But he brought some life to some young players like Caulfield and Suzuki. And then there's one more I just thought of, and it just escaped me. Hayden.
I'll see if I can look it up and
Oh my gosh, this is going to annoy me.
The Oilers?
Yes, Woodcroft re-signed in Edmonton for 3 years. That was the exact one I was thinking of. So, the coaching carousel has been going insane. Lots of coaches deserving of jobs like Woodcroft, St. Louis, and another guy that may or may not be returning is Andrew Burnett of Florida. Very interesting that he got them to the President's Trophy, but is still yet to be returned as coach. Because I mean, also Joel Quenneville has said that he wants to return as coach, but I don't know if the NHL is quite ready to do that after the scandal earlier on in the season. But lots of coaches still to be hired. That Jets Brewery offered beer for life to Trotz. We talked about that. He was offered $7 million a year in Philly, and he turned it down. So obviously
Oh my
something in
God.
Philly wasn't um didn't really intrigue Barry Trotz, but no man, it's gonna be very interesting, just not just with the coaches, but any move in general, whether or not a star will be moved, the team's gonna go in a different direction, go try to contend. I'm excited to see what happens.
Hell yeah. It's going to be a very interesting offseason. Obviously, when playoffs end. And yeah, I'm excited to try and even get up to more games this year. That's
Yeah.
going to be a personal goal of mine.
Especially with that Kuzmenko guy, I think he's going to draw a lot of people to Rogers to see him play live, just to see kind of what player he is and what he can bring to this fan base in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be exciting. All right, should we talk about some Stanley Cup Finals? Because we talked about it before it's even started last episode, and we'll kind of go from game one up to where we are now, and then we'll get the hell out of here. So, game one, Tampa wins 4-3 in overtime.
You mean Colorado wins 4-3 in overtime?
Sorry, who did I say?
You said Tampa.
Sorry. Yes, Colorado wins 4-3 in overtime. They get out to a 2-0 lead, goes to 2-1, then shifted to 3-1. Tampa comes back, ties it up 3-3, and then the rest is history. Burakovsky slams it home in overtime. What did you think of game one overall?
Game one was good. It was good to see that there was fight in both teams. It was cool to see the Lightning kind of come back. And honestly, as soon as overtime started, I was like, I just had a feeling that the Avalanche were going to win. And they did. You know, it was kind of, it almost seemed like they almost lost the game more than they won it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it was their game to lose, and they almost did. They almost did. But then, yeah, what'd you think about game two?
Well, I want to talk more about game one because Nichushkin, that guy is absolutely on a tear. A few years ago, he scored 1 goal in 57 games. And now he's looking forward to making $5 million a year next year on his next contract. He's just playing so good, scoring a couple goals in game one, plus the game-winning assist. This guy is just absolutely playing on another level right now. Just added so much depth to this roster. And then the Anthony Cirelli trip to put Colorado 5-on-3. That was such a joke of a call. I saw that and I'm like, that's gonna be talked about for a bit because it was ridiculous. Colorado's already on the man advantage, and then to call that to put them up 5-on-3, that's way too soft of a call. You can't really make that. Basically, the guy's a commitment error, in my opinion, to put a team 5-on-3 when they're already on a power play. So, yeah, it was a very bit of a weak call, but Tampa coming back, I mean, it just shows why they're the two-time champ. Vasilevsky kind of got warmed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly thought it was 50-50 in overtime. I could see either team winning this, but Colorado just dominated from the get-go. Colorado's a much better team in game one, and just the first 3 periods in general. They were just much better. They always had scoring chances, but it was just a matter of capitalizing on all of them. And I mean, leaving game one, everyone was like, everyone knows Tampa. They always play much better after a loss. So going into game two, it was not the case.
No.
Colorado played. We were camping for this game.
Yep.
And when Kiana came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to know the score of the game?" I'm like, "Yeah." What's it, like Tampa win? She's like, "No." Or like, "Oh, like what's the score?" I was like, "Is Tampa win? Like what? Like 4-2?" And she's like, "Nah, 7-0 Colorado." I almost shit my pants on the spot. I'm like,
Dude.
"What?" I'm like, "There's no way." And unfortunately, I got home and the game wasn't recorded. So,
Oh,
so all I got was highlights. So I just watched like multiple highlight packages. And Colorado played one of the most perfect games from a highlight package I've ever seen. Half of them were 2-on-1s, and like two of them were on the like shorthanded.
mhm.
Like Colorado played such a perfect hockey game, putting up 7 goals and letting in none, out chancing them like 30-1
Yeah.
the entire game. It was just unbelievable. And those are the performances you need, especially playing back-to-back champs.
No, definitely. And funny story about that, the 7-0 part was I was on the ride home and I was driving home Connor. I was driving home Shaden. And it was so funny. Shaden just kind of like dozing off, like neck down, not obviously knowing about it. And Connor and I are just kind of like talking softly. And I was like, I wonder what the fucking score of the hockey game was. He's like, you want to know? I'm like, sure. And let's know. And then he just goes, holy shit. Shaden like just fucking just fucking looks up and Connor's like, oh Shaden, I didn't mean to wake you. It's just Colorado won 7-0. And I was like, holy fuck, 7-0. Like against Vasilevsky, like I know he's had some fucking dud games this year, especially in like game
Yeah.
ones, but 7-0. Oh my, especially for Tampa not to get a goal. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
like I expect Tampa to get at least one goal,
Yeah.
possibly
That's
two.
what kind of surprised me because I mean the Rangers put up 6 against Tampa, so it wasn't out of the realm of possibility to put up a high amount of goals. It's just a matter of Tampa responding, and they just didn't. They couldn't get anything going against
Nope.
Colorado in game 2. So that's exactly what surprised me. Was like, yeah, Colorado got 7 goals, but like Rangers also got 6. Toronto got 5. Like it wasn't completely absurd. It was just Tampa got nothing against like Kemper. Like Kemper's a good goalie, but I mean
He's
Tampa's offense is superior than how good Kemper is. Like I'm surprised they didn't get anything on him. That's what like Tampa just swallowed up. Colorado just swallowed up Tampa's offense. Didn't let them do anything, and they just capitalized on all their scoring chances. Cal McCarr scoring 2, one on the
yep.
power play, one shorthanded. Like a 2-on-1 shorthanded with Kale McCarr having the puck, that's going to result in the goal like 75% of the time.
At
So,
least.
yeah, game 2 is just pure domination, and I don't think it'll be hard to see a more perfect game played than Colorado in game 2.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
So, I mean, with game 2, all I put in my notes here, like game 1, I put like the Chishkin on a tear, like the Sorelli trip, like Tampa made a comeback. Game 2, all I put was domination. That's all I
Yeah,
put. Because
that's
I
all
mean,
you need to put.
there's no other words to describe that. So,
No.
but game 3, Tampa had to come back. First game on home ice in the Stanley Cup Finals, being down 2-0 is basically a must win. Basically, a must. If you're going down 3-0, you're gonna have to win 4 straight. Which obviously, until the cup is lifted, I'm always gonna say Tampa has a chance in this series, no matter what, because they're back-to-back champs and they won 4 straight against New York. Like with
Yep.
Shesterkin in net, like I'm not counting them out until the other team is lifting the cup. So, I mean, even going down 3-0, I still believe Tampa just gets 1, 2 in a row. Like it'll be scary territory for the other team, despite them being up. But I mean, Colorado's a different beast. So game 3, they have to win, and they played a great game in game 3. This Colorado did play good as well, but Tampa was just there.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on like game 3 overall?
Game 3, it was just fucking crazy to see in the second period. Tampa just going off.
Yeah.
It was like I'm pretty sure it was 2-2, right? And then just it was 5-2 in like a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
And I'm like watching it after Landeskog scored to tie it up or to get it in one of the two. It was kind of like, hey, Colorado, they have a chance. They have a chance. And then it's just, yeah, power play. Boom. Tampa capitalizes. Colorado gets a power play. Doesn't get anything. Tampa fucking scores. Stamkos, like it just shows you that Tampa's not done. And my take of Tampa in 6, it kind of got hindered, little game back.
But I
Obviously, I was
mean,
thinking the second game would have gone way differently.
yeah.
But I mean, I'm still on the right track, as in Colorado's up 2-1. But I still believe Tampa is going to win in 6 until tomorrow, until we see what Colorado decides to do or what Tampa decides to do.
Yeah. I mean, like Colorado needs to win 2 for Tampa to win in 6. So like you said, like you're still on track for it to happen. I still think this is going 7.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I think Tampa either wins in 7 or Colorado wins in 6. Like I think I just say I can't see Tampa winning 4 straight on Colorado despite goaltending. I just think it'll be much harder to do with how high flying and up tempo Colorado plays
Mm-hmm.
because despite losing 6-2, Colorado still had a shit ton of
Oh,
chances
so many
in game
chances.
6. It's just Vasilevsky was there and it was just lack of putting the puck in the net.
Yep.
So I think that offside call really swung momentum. Um, with that puck just barely getting out of the zone. It was offside. I do think there was conclusive evidence that it was called, just barely, but I do think it was a good call. But I
Yep.
think it swung momentum Tampa's way. But I mean, how good Vasilevsky played, and they did get to Kemper, but I still think Colorado played enough for me not to be worried about them, despite a 6-2 loss. So I still think that if Tampa's going to win this, it's going to be in 7. I don't think Tampa's going to win 4 straight against them, but I can see Colorado like trading wins with Tampa, like
Yeah.
winning, Tampa winning, Colorado winning as well, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think the higher chance of it going 7. Like, I think Colorado, like game 4, it's a must win for either team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think game 4 is kind of like the game 4 of the NBA finals there.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
I think
agree.
this could determine a winner or a loser here.
Yeah. Colorado wins are up 3-1, but Tampa gaining momentum with 2 straight wins, it'll be very hard to beat them after
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, despite the fact that McKinnon hasn't scored yet is really scary. Uh,
Shocking. Yeah, because
Cam,
now that you've said it, there's going to be a McKinnon game between now and the next time we record.
yeah, that happened. That happened last time.
Yep.
I was talking to Brandon. And I said the fact that Colorado's playing this good against St. Louis and McKinnon hasn't had one of his games yet is insane. And then the next game, he had like 4 points with a hat trick, and
Yeah, with a hat trick. Yeah.
I'm like, all right, the timing of that is impeccable. So McKinnon has yet to rise,
He has
but
your
I mean,
number.
yeah, but I mean, I think this series is going 7. But game 4, I think Colorado wins it in overtime.
Ooh. All right. All right.
I think it's going to be within a 1 or 2 goal game, but I do think it goes to overtime. I don't think it's going to be a 7-0 or 6-2 game. Like I think it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a game more like
More like game 1.
game 1, but less Tampa heavy the first period and a half, Tampa heavy the last half of the game, and then overtime. I think it's going to be very back and forth game
Back and
4,
forth. Yeah.
but Colorado coming out on top, playing much, much better defense and capitalizing more on their offense. But I do think it's going to be like I think it's going to be 5-4 in overtime for Colorado. No, 3-2 in overtime for Colorado.
Alrighty.
For game 4. And then game 5, we'll see where it goes. But I honestly, next time we record, Stanley Cup might be raised.
Might be.
Which is crazy to say. But what do you think is to come in game 4 before we head out?
Well, obviously, if I'm going to stick with my my picks, I think Tampa wins the rest of the way through here. I mean, I have to stick with the lock.
You gotta stick with your guns.
Yeah, I gotta stick with my guns. Like I said, I see Tampa winning in 6, but if they were to do it in 7, Tampa wins now. Tampa wins game 6, and then Tampa wins game 7. If they were to win in 7, and then obviously Colorado wins at home. So it's going to be like,
well, Colorado has the home ice advantage, so
exactly.
They'd be winning on the road in game 6, is what you're saying.
No. Tampa wins game 6. Tampa wins game 7. Colorado wins game 5
to go up 3-2, and then Tampa wins with their back against the wall. I got you.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I kind of see it. Back up against the wall, taking home 2 wins. But I'm gonna stick with my guns. Tampa winning
all
rest of the way out. Yeah.
I guess
seeing as how it goes, though. Sorry for delaying this, my bad. But I say Tampa wins 3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
I can see that.
Even though Colorado will probably get like 50 shots on net somehow.
Yeah, but I mean, it is Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll kind of plan mine the way through if I'm going to pick in 7. I think Colorado wins next game to go up 3-1. And then I think Tampa, with their back against the wall, wins the next 2. And then I think Colorado in game 7 just guts one out and captures one 4-2 in game 7 and lifts the cup at home. That's how I got it going down. But I mean, I want Colorado to win. So I mean, in any sort of fashion, if they win, I'll be happy. Just because I want to see Nate Dogg win a cup. But I mean, this is going to be an exciting finals, and I'm so totally excited with how the rest of it's going to play out. I'm just hoping for good hockey here, as cliche as that is.
Yeah. As cliche as it could be.
Yeah, exactly, brother. All right, man. This was an incredible episode. Very packed. Lots to talk about. We covered a lot here.
That's how we do.
That's how we do it, baby. But let the people know where they can find you.
On Instagram and Twitter at Hayden_Barton. That's it.
Ready. We are the Left Side Heavy Boys now. And on fucking Instagram, it said, do you want to sync with your Facebook? And I pressed yes, not knowing what it meant. But now I can't change
your settings when you post.
My biography name on the Left Side Heavy page. So it just says Jevin LaFave underneath. And it won't let me change it. And I'm like,
it's because I think your account's linked with your Instagram account. And
yeah,
it's not like a separate email. I think that's why.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure it is. It's so weird, but like the Left Side Heavy page is not just me. It's me and Hayden. So I don't want you to discredit it at all. It's us running the account. But yeah, follow the page on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Left Side Heavy _ to get everything for the show. Follow me on Instagram at Jevin.LaFave, on Twitter at JevinLaFave. And if you're listening to this, but you want to watch instead, head over to our YouTube, see our beautiful faces with our beautiful voices, and to catch the steroid-filled air quotes that we've used a couple times this episode. And also don't forget to leave a rating and review everywhere you get your podcast. It really helps grow the show overall. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.
we're in the right